Alright, so we got the fourth game in the Horizon series. Forza Horizon 4 on Xbox One and Windows, and then a year later on the Xbox Series S and X. Well, I'll tell you the differences about the series system. Well, in terms of that particular version, since that was the first version I played. This one actually does give you a frame rate upgrade, so at least that's a good thing. I think there are some of the graphical same stuff, but it's been like up in the resolution a little bit as far as I know, maybe. But yeah, the game is supposed to run better on the series system, so which is definitely different. But you know what? Let's not talk about the whole platform to platform thing. Yeah, you can get it, but I will just mention this. The DLC has been delisted once again, as always, licensing, blah blah blah. But I can talk about the DLC this time because I actually managed to get it before it was delisted. I also did the same thing with Forza Horizon 5, which is good. So you know what, let's talk about the game and where it takes place and what's new. The game takes place in Great Britain, a fictionalized version of at least Europe as far as I can tell you. This game has seasons. I don't mean by Battle Pass, I don't mean by Season Pass, blah blah blah, whatever. What I mean is weather seasons. Spring, summer, fall, and winter. And you can basically compete to them. This does play a huge factor because your car can have an effect. It can be affected by the weather of rain, snow, and whatever too. In this game, you also have some story missions like taxis and whatever, and it also has over 700 vehicles for you guys to even choose. There's also this backstage pass, which was a later free update thing that allows you to pass votes on and unlock previous exclusive hard to find cars. The Eliminator is a battle royale. Don't ask me why they put that in there. And they even have a Halo collaboration, which is insane. I don't know. That's just as far as I can really tell you of some of the newer additions. At least I got some story ones. There's even like time events there. And there's even this Horizon Live thing, or Forza-thon, whatever it's called, where you and other players online gather and you try to beat the event within a time limit. And then once you do that, you win. And that's about it. This game also has the new form of a wheel spin. Yeah, I know, it's basically the same thing as the previous games, but this one's different. Because when you win certain cars, some of those cars actually do give you a skill boost. Yeah, some of these cars have skill boosts now, and that's different. Only if it says on the wheel spin. But then they had to evolve it to super wheel spins. Well, it's basically the same thing, but there is a difference. The only difference is that you have 3 wheels in one, and that means you can win a whole bunch of stuff. You win clothing, horns, and cars, and money. Yeah, the same effect can happen on the regular wheel spin, but again, that's basically the differences in the newer additions to both of these things. And also, for some reason, the skill point checks are now exclusively to its own cars and not an overall thing like the previous games, which I think is dumb, but whatever, you still have it. I also think this game has shrinked the radio stations this time, which is completely weird to me. But I also should mention this too, is that this game has DLC, like I mentioned before. This one has Fortune Island, where you go to a small island and you find treasure by solving riddles. And once you solve the riddles, you find the treasure in the area and you crash through the treasure chest. And guess what? You win a jack ton of money. I mean, millions of credits. That's right, you win lots of money. So yeah, I can't really say anything else about that one. It's just relatively a short map, and that's about it. Also, what's new is Legos. Yeah, Legos in a realistic environment, and mentioned that. I mean, it's not like we didn't just have Hot Wheels. But this one is twice the size as Fortune Island, but this one's a bit different. You have Lego cars based off real life cars. you also can do some of these challenges. A certain amount of times you complete these challenges, which are these Lego brick things where you have to collect them. You could do it during free roam or by racing. And by getting a certain amount of them, you get new cars, houses, garages, and plenty more. So yeah, you got a lot to do in such a small area. And as usual, the game is twice the size than the previous game, which means you got a long way to go. But don't worry, you still got your fast travel point stuff or whatever, where you spend money to fast travel. But you still have these boards you can crash right through. But again, some of them are still hard to get, so you need like a certain car in order to get them. Because they're still stuck in some of the weirdest places I've ever seen. And apparently too, they seem to have expanded the blueprint stuff. Not that I ever touched that stuff. So yeah, in this one, it just feels like it's a lot bigger in terms of content than the last game, and you're telling me that the Eliminator mode was the most popular mode in the game? I never really heard anybody ever talk about that, which is strange to me. Oh, by the way, when it comes to like changing the weather in the game, apparently this happens on every Thursday at a certain time. Yeah, I guess that's why all the weathers have been changing as of late in the game. But yeah, it was something different, so at least they were still trying. It was my first game in the series I've actually played, only because I needed something to play on the Xbox Series since it was new at the time. If you guys are worried about online connection, you don't have to necessarily play the game online, as you can play the game offline, as per usual when it comes to Forza Horizon games. Again, like I went back to my regular video on the third game, just because it's like, it says it's online sometimes, doesn't mean you really have to play these online. If the game still works, then it's good, then you can still play it. And so this one was like my first experience, like I said before. So yeah, the graphics have taken a huge notice and change. So the more the new installment comes out, the bigger the game gets in terms of graphics, content, and the world itself. So I also want to bring it up that you can fast travel via a house, but you have to buy them. They are very expensive, but if you have the VIP pass, then you get them for free, and that's cool. But I think that's about it for this game. So we got number 5, and apparently they made a mobile game of Forza Street, but apparently they got that game delisted for some reason, which I never knew exists. Maybe I did, I don't know. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Also, I think my fails have been weirdly timed, because every time I upload something, someone else popular uploads fails then, about the same topic. I don't know, timing has been pretty crazy as of late.